Hi guys, Jess here from Living Wisdom. I'm reading out of Romans 12 today, verses 1 and 2. And the word says, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. I love the title for these two verses. It says living sacrifices to God. It's a great thought, but along with those verses, what does it mean? Well, a little history. In Old Testament times, animal sacrifices were required as a temporary covering for sin. But it couldn't just be any animal, they needed to be spotless. So the high priest would come along and they would choose the animal in alignment with these expectations. And then they would stand in the gap and offer this animal on the altar. Now we know that that was a window into what Jesus did for us. And the beauty of him saying on the cross, it is finished, was that he became both the high priest standing in the gap and the sacrifice to stand once and for all. Now, if that's the case, that's great, but what does it mean for us to be living sacrifices, and why would we need to do that? Well, under the covering of Jesus, we are now free to be both priests, look at 1 Peter verse 2 for that reference, and the offering, aka living sacrifices. Well, how do we do that? Romans 12 verse 2 says that we do that by renewing the mind, taking every thought captive and holding it up to the light of Christ. You know, discipleship is so often seen as something external to us, going and preaching to all the world the reality of Jesus. But the truth is, we can't offer what we don't possess. In order to show the world the beauty of Jesus, we need to know it in every breath, in every step, in every thought. And that comes from the renewing of the mind that happens as we co-partner with Christ. So I want to encourage you today, take every thought captive. Take every thought captive, because the world within you matters as you represent Jesus to those around you. Thanks.